Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I'm playing my opponent right now, jinxusa2. I just scored my first touchdown.
Now Catanzaro after the
I'm playing
touchdown
with
to kick
Arizona.
it
He's
away.
playing with New England.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now
Just so you guys know, I'm scrolling just to make sure that it's me playing.
Costly
It's
turnover,
obvious.
and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Gronkowski the intended target, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually...
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch. Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now Brady. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into...
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
I want to see. I'm not gonna beat him too bad. I'm just gonna beat him by 2 touchdowns. So see if he wants to play me later. Hopefully that works.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run. Now Palmer on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And the back goes into motion. 2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
I've After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
On third down, Palmer. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
All right, now, Blue 58, Blue 19, 19. Let's go, let's go. Regular.
And the play clock's running down.
95, Blue 95.
And now Bruce Arians with the play clock running low is going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Palmer in the offense staying put. They're going to try for it on 4th down.
Let's go. 19.
4th down. Here's Palmer. And he's got Gresham. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They go to Johnson again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this.
Let's go. Blue 58, get ready.
They come out here in the eye.
19. 19. Let's go. Blue 95.
And a big tight end shifting around.
95.
Palmer will throw. And he's got Fitzgerald.
What was it, just 2-3 seasons ago, Benny? People were wondering about the continued effectiveness of Larry Fitzgerald, but I think with head coach Bruce Arians convincing him to move into the slot for a lot of plays, we've seen Larry Fitzgerald continue to blossom. What he catch, 99th and 100th touchdowns of his career?
Yep, 99th came in the second quarter, and the big 100th came in the 4th. Puts him tied for 8th all time.
So close to knocking off New England in the season opener where he and his Cardinals.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
All right, now.
Halfback
Blue 58.
sent in motion.
Blue 58.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. He got halfway home there down to the 1, but a good job of keeping him out of the end zone.
Exactly. Halfway home isn't all the way home, right? So they feel pretty good about keeping him out on that play.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Here we go now. Green.
It's a quarterback sneak. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, Palmer off, Catanzaro on for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Catanzaro's kick is right through.
Go ahead. We can both exhale with him, right? Chandler Catanzaro, because that was a tough miss against New England. That make there has to help him feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that one against New England, 47-yarder. Snap was a little errant, but he got it down. And afterwards, give Catanzaro, just 25 years old, a lot of credit. He owned it. He said, hey, forget about all that. I just missed it.
When he understands what goes into the mechanics of making a kick, those guys are going to do their jobs right 9.9 times out of 10. If it goes wrong once, you just own it and move on. I like his maturity.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, sidestepping for a minute, looking back to Sunday, we saw some clock management issues. You look at the Indianapolis game, the Dallas game, and how that shook down. But when you're a player or coach in those situations late, how hard is it to be aware of what's going on? Because it's easy for us sitting on the couch to critique.
It's a lot harder than maybe we give credit to, because
This guy's complete
heat of the
booty.
moment, the anxiety levels have gone sky high. The competitive juices are flowing. A lot of coaches keep cards with them that tell them when to, how you're supposed to use the clock down the stretch. You don't always get the math right. That's why I think a lot of teams now are going to go to having someone designated in the press box to handle clock management issues and advise the head coach, because they should be able to think clearer up there rather than down on the sidelines where the heat is really rising. That was a heck of a sprint. Tried to get to the end zone. Didn't quite get there. Just short, out of bounds at the 2-yard line. I know the defense is relieved he didn't get to the end zone. And the guy who was carrying the ball, a little frustrated, he didn't make it all the way.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Johnson on the counter, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, as the first half is winding down, and the Cardinals will extend their lead.
It's currently
Now
17-0. It's about to end the second half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Gronkowski, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. The final shot before half for Brady. Incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's